So this is probably the number one question that I get asked right now. And first of all, shout out to my girl Cruz. Yes, she's been a major influence on me. And yes, she's one of my favorite streamers, and I've told her that myself. But if you want me to do a video on this, like, comment on this video, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, shit. I don't think we can avoid this anymore. Well, here we go. I'm Bad Bear Gamer, and this is how I edit my videos for TikTok. So this is probably the number one question that I've been asked ever since I started posting on TikTok. How do I take my recorded game film and clips that are out on Twitch and edit those and format them to put them on TikTok? And if you're unfamiliar with my TikTok videos have a very specific layout and look that all of them share. And it looks something like this. Insert footage here. And while I know I wasn't the original creator of this, the reality is that nobody sat down and showed me how to do this. Yes, I drew influence from some other content creators, and yes, I have referenced them before numerous times, and I have thanked them directly for the massive influence that they've had on helping me identify my brand early on. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who had to sit down and learn how to do this. So the purpose of today's video is to be as transparent and honest as possible to show you my exact process for taking my game film and turning it into TikTok content. Now, I do want to say before we get started, if you find value in this type of content, do me a favor and support us by subscribing to this YouTube channel. You can click the button below, click the little bell, and you'll be notified every single time we update with new content. I also want to go ahead and put the disclosure out there that the editing software that I use is Premiere Pro. I'm pretty well versed in the Adobe Suite collection. So Photoshop, After Effects, Adobe Audition, Premiere Pro. And while I recognize there is no one-size-fits-all solution, and there are endless amounts of apps and video software that is out there, both free and ones you can buy, I've chosen to use Premiere Pro because I believe it's the most robust video editing software out there today. So, without further ado, let's get it started. So as I mentioned earlier, my purpose of this video is to show you with 100% transparency my process for taking my post-recorded streams and clips that are out on Twitch and editing them and preparing them for TikTok. So I wanted to start by being on the Twitch website because this is where you can access all of your previous past post streams, whatever the heck you want to call it. And how you're going to access that is if you go up here and you click your little emblem, you're going to get the option to click Video Producer. When I click on Video Producer, this is going to pull up my library of post streams. Now, some of my stuff has been muted because I tend to play music at the beginning of my streams. Obviously, there can be some copyright things along with that, so the first 5 minutes of my streams are oftentimes muted, but the rest of the clip is perfectly good to go. Now, the one thing I do want to tell you is that these files are going to be relatively large. My Thirsty Thursday from last night was about a 6-hour stream. I downloaded that earlier today, and I'm pretty sure the file was about 9.5 gigabytes. My average streams are about 3.5 to 4 hours. Those are going to be in the ballpark of right around 6 gigs. So just be prepared to know that large files are coming your way. You want to be working on a computer that is not going to get bogged down. You can clearly tell I am on a Mac, and actually this is an iMac Pro, perfectly fine processing everything that I need. But you do want to be prepared, just again, full disclosure, these large files are coming your way. And how you're going to download it is very, very simple. You just click on these 3 little dots, and right there is a download option. That will download the entire file you need. It will start by preparing the download, and then the download should follow within about 3 to 5 minutes after that. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. We're not going to sit on this stream while I do that. I've already had one downloaded, so we should be in good shape. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to Premiere Pro. Now, currently, I'm working on the video you're watching right now, believe it or not. But let's just start from scratch. So I'm going to go File, New, and then I'm going to go New Project. Now, whatever you want to title this really doesn't matter. So for the purpose of this, let's just go ahead and title this Minnesota Timberwolves. Hooray. Again, it really doesn't matter the project that you title it. These settings I've never really changed. They're whatever the default ones are for me, or if I did change them, it was so long ago, but you can go ahead and make note of them. If yours are different, I would recommend these because this is what I use. But then you can go ahead and click OK. So I got a brand new project here. I already built up a sequence, but we'll go through this in just a second. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is create a sequence that we can start editing in. Now, I don't take my videos and immediately try to format them to TikTok. I've started doing that, or at least attempted it at one point, and the problem is, and you'll see this in a bit, when I do my layering in the TikTok format, when we're talking about large recordings, it was just a mess. So instead, what I like to do is I like to cut up my video first and to create almost the mini clips that I know I'm going to use, and then format those for TikTok. So let's go through it. I would click File, New Sequence. Sequence is going to give me the ability to kind of set a lot of different video features for whatever it is I'm trying to edit. Specifically, the thing that matters most here is the frame rate and the frame size. Now, for this purpose, I'm just going to do my 1080 preset, which is just the 1920 by 1080, the standard 23.976 on the frame rate size. And if you are going to be using this fairly often, like I do, I highly recommend creating presets. So you can see I have presets here for my Instagram, for TikTok, for YouTube, and then just a general 1080 setting. In order to do a preset, all you would need to do is click Settings, adjust these to the numbers that you need, blah, 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 fill this all in, and then down here you'd click Save Preset. You can title it and you'll be in good shape. It will pop up here and you can use it moving forward. But I already have the 1080 ready to roll, so I can click on the 1080. I can go ahead and name this, and we'll name this YouTube 1080, and I'll click OK. And our new sequence has now popped up. So this is our little preview screen for our 1080 video that we are about to edit. And obviously I don't have anything that I am editing at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my downloads, and we're going to grab the video that we are going to do. And we are pulling this one right here, which is from May 6th. So actually from last week, that I still have yet to edit, believe it or not. I am pretty behind on my editing. I think I'm about 4 or 5 streams behind at this point, so don't judge me. But now it's popped up here. So we clicked, dragged it over. Here's the full stream, ready to rock and roll. We can pull it in. Now, kind of like I told you, I like personally to cut the video up into little sections. I'll show you what I mean by that, and then format those for TikTok. Now, my stream streams in 720. I think this is pretty common for most people who use Twitch. If you're new to Twitch, you'll quickly realize that unless you have a supercomputer with high GPU and a graphic card and stellar internet, trying to do anything above 720, especially with a good frame rate, is going to usually create dropping of frames during your stream, create a choppy stream, or things to go out of sync. Most people do in 720. So that means that all I have to do is I have to click on my clip, go to video, and scale to frame size. And boom, now my 720 is now in 1080. It's that simple. Now, kind of like I mentioned, my first bit here is all music. We're not going to get into that necessarily, but I will extend this so that now I'm not just looking at individual minutes, but I'm covering quite a bit of ground during my stream. Now, how I would normally do this is if the stream was fresh, like if I was editing a stream from last night, I might already have in mind the particular clips that I'm trying to get out of. In this situation, this clip or this stream is from last week, right? And my guess is that I don't remember this quite as well as I think I might. So what I would do traditionally is I would just kind of click and drag and be looking through here. Now, what I'm looking for, just so you know, it kind of depends on what game mode I am playing. If I'm playing matchmaking, like I am in this clip right here, and I'm going to mute this just so you don't pick up that background noise. But if I'm doing this, typically what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scroll through and pay attention to two things. I'm going to be paying attention to my face, specifically looking for any time that I am laughing or giggling, just because I feel like that could be just really good commentary that's happening between me and my squad mates. Or I'm going to be looking for good gameplay footage. Now, obviously, when you're scrolling through at this rate, it's hard to say, okay, was there good game rate? So instead, what I'll do is probably scroll to the end, see what happened. We got our asses kicked this round. I only had 8 kills. I had 3 captures. Probably not a whole lot going on this game. But I will, you're absolutely right, be just kind of scrolling through and scrubbing an entire nights of stream looking for the clips that I want to be able to extract and be able to edit down the road. Now, for the purpose of this, I already have one in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right to that. It's about 2:24. So give me a moment while I get there. It's right here. And I think this is when I run back. So I cap this headquarters, or at least I assist. Don't do much of anything. And then the clip that I'm really trying to get out of this is my defense. So right around here, I know there's about to be a team that comes around the back, and this is where I kind of want to start. Now, when I'm doing this is not necessarily where I want to trim my videos down to their final length. TikTok does a really good job allowing you to trim videos through their platform. So a lot of times I'll leave my videos a tad bit long, both on the front and the back end when doing it this way, so that when I get it into TikTok, I can really customize it if I'm trying to match a specific sequence or I'm trying to match it to a specific song. I have some more footage to be playing with that then I can just trim accordingly. So I'm going to press C on the keyboard. That's going to give me my little razor here, or my little cut mark, and I'm going to cut my first mark right there because I know it's about to start going down. There they are, a couple of pops there. Call in this airstrike. Run behind, blah, 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 get a kill. Think I'm going that way, decide not to, come back, kill this guy. Run in, kill this guy, run over here, turn around, kill this guy on the forklift, reload, get these couple of kills, and then I die. Boom, I'm dead. Okay, so I know that's the clip that I'm looking for, so I'm going to put my second cut mark on the back end. So now I got a cut mark on the front, cut mark on the back, and this is how simple this is. I'm going to press V to get back to my mouse. I'm going to click on the front, and I'm going to click delete, and it's going to go bye-bye. I'm going to do the back, click delete, it's going to go bye-bye. I'm going to click on this empty space right here, and I'm going to click delete, and it's going to pop that clip that I just had all the way to the beginning. It is that simple. And now I have, as I scroll in, I'm cutting down on my time frame so that I can see the exact motion here. I have this clip. I can already see exactly how formatted it is, exactly how long it is. It's 30 seconds with a little bit of time on the front, a little bit of time on the back that I can use to customize for this clip. It is that simple. In order to extract it, what I would do is I would go File, Export, Media. These are the settings that I use. I highly, highly, highly recommend you using these. So in formatting, it's H.264, and then the preset is the match source. So it's basically just reading whatever my sequence is at the highest bit rate. Here you can click and rename it. Whenever I am doing these, I have a specific folder just for my 1080s. You'll see that I also have them classified by months. This helps me with things like making highlight reels, or making sure that it's not bogged down and gets lost. And all you would need to do is title this. I actually already have this because, again, I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. So I already titled this, and what I always do is I title it with the date to start. So today is May 8th, 5-8, and then just a quick title about what it is behind. So HQ Defend. If I go on my old ones just to kind of show you, you can see 4.1 Gulag, 4.1 Gulag 2, I Need a Hero, Team Wipe, blah, 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 4.3, 95 and 21, 4.27, Heli Kill. Like, this is exactly what I do with all of them to create these mini little clips. And then all you would do is click export down here. It would save the clip, and whatever you saved it as in the file that you wanted it to save as. So I would do that. I got my mini clip. And then if I was going to continue creating clips out of the larger stream, this is how simple it is. Using the command Control Z, which is really just the like undo command. I'm going to scroll out so you can see exactly what this does. You can undo these steps that you just did. So Control Z bumps it back to the back. Control Z gives you that back end. Control Z gives you the front end. Control Z eliminates the first cut. Control Z eliminates the second cut. So if I was going through, now I could just keep going through the rest of my stream, looking for more clips. And when I'm ready, press C and start cutting, repeat the process just like I did before. And that is how I'm going to get all of my individual little mini clips out of the larger stream. So that's step one. Step two now is taking those individual little clips that I have and turning those into TikToks. So the formatting is very, very different. I see a lot of people staying with this 1080 format in their TikTok videos. And there's nothing wrong with it, except on a normal phone screen, there's a lot of dead space. And you'll notice in my videos, I've eliminated that dead space. Here's how I've done that. I go File, New, Sequence, and I've created a sequence that is specifically for my TikToks. Now make note of this because this is extremely important, specifically the frame size. This 900 by 1600 is the perfect frame size that you need for your phone and for TikTok videos. Frame rate is still the 23.976, nothing changed there, but I would highly recommend creating this as a custom preset, saving it, and having it on deck ready to rock and roll if you're using this consistently. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and title this TikTok. I'm going to have it highlighted, click OK, and it's going to create my TikTok sequence right here. And look, that looks like your frickin' TikTok phone, right? Pretty simple. Now, I have my clips already ready to go, so I'm going to go 1080. You see it's right there. This is where my files would normally be. Again, if I went into April, they're all right there. I have the ones that I've already, taken out for the highlights and all that good stuff. But what I would do is I would take the clip, move it over into my project manager. From there, I can move it into my sequence. And this is where the fun begins. So now I have it in my sequence, ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to do first is the step that actually a lot of people probably recognize, which is my logo. My logo is missing. So I got to get my logo in the project manager because it's actually going to be on the TikTok video. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Twitch. My logo should be right there. There it is in a PNG file. I bring that over, ready to go. And I can bring that in on top. Now, I always put that on 4. You'll see why is because I do a lot of layering. I click V to get to my mouse, and I can drag this specifically to the length that I need it to be. So now my logo is the entire width of the clip. Let me mute that. It's the entire width of the clip. Now, obviously, my logo does not just sit in the middle. So I have some settings that I already know, so I'm just going to go ahead and enter those in. I know that it's got to go 205 to go to the top, and it's 50% on the scale. That is the exact location that I put my logo on all of my videos. It does not change. It has always been there. It will always be there moving forward until I ever make that change, but I'm not planning to. All right, so my logo's in good shape. Now let's focus on the video. Right now, as of right now, the audio and the video are linked together. That means when I pull them, they go together. So I need to first separate those two. So I click right click, and then there's the unlink button right there. I click on that, and now each one is going to be treated independently. This is a very useful technique if you need to ever edit because your audio is lagging or your video is lagging. You can adjust accordingly through this process. But the reason why I do this is now I can duplicate my video layer by clicking Alt, in my case, clicking on the video layer and dragging up. Alt, drag up, and now I have the same layer layered over each other 3 separate times. And the reason why I do this is because I have 3 separate layers within my video. I have my primary video that you're used to seeing. I have my background that is blurred, and then I have my big head, which is, my face sitting at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead for the simplistic purpose of this, and I'm going to hide the other 2 because right now what I want to focus on is my primary. The middle one here is going to be my primary video. And the settings that I use is 450. I go 650. That's going to pull it up. I go on the scale, I go 77. And there it is. Now, why did I do 77? Why didn't I go out more? I'll explain why right now. If I go in, well, first of all, if I go in more, obviously, yes, I get a bigger part of my screen, but I'm also losing more and more of the actual gameplay. I want to maximize the amount of gameplay that my viewer can see, but here's what I'm trying to avoid is this little guy right here, which is me. I have my box as part of my overlay. I want to get as close as possible to get my overlay out of the picture because I'm going to have that big head at the bottom regardless. And what I've learned is 77 is my magic number. The second that I go, let's say 75, you see the edge of this starting to creep in. So 77 is my magic number. Here's the other thing that I will tell you with this though, because this is also important. If you use overlays with your video, and you have a webcam as part of your stream, there are two different ways that you can do it, obviously. The easiest way is when you film in 1080, it becomes almost like a rectangle. And if you don't trim that rectangle, it can pop into the center a little bit more than you really want it to. You'll notice mine is a little bit more of that square shape. The reason why is specifically for my TikTok editing. I want this thing to be as condensed as possible in the corner so that I can get as much gameplay into my footage as possible without having that overlay start to leak in. So again, my magic number is 77. This is looking great. At this point, I don't have to do anything different. It's good to go, right? This is exactly what it would look like. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hide this. Let's pull up the bottom one. The bottom one is my background image. Okay, so now we're talking about the one that's normally blurred in the back. On the scale, this one's really simple to edit. All this one is 245 on the scale. That'll pop it up this large. And then you're going to search blur in your effects and you're looking for this Gaussian blur. Take that, apply it to the bottom layer and add a Gaussian blur level of 50. And boom, just like that, you have a blurred background that is the same exact footage as your overlay, but it is blurred, creating a really nice contrast. So when I make this one visible, this is what you end up with, that really clean look. Now, the final step is the big head. So let's toggle the top one here. Let's make it visible. You'll see it pop back up. Let's go ahead and click on it. This is one that you got to play with because depending on where your camera is, my settings might not be the same as yours because you have to locate where yours is. And actually, the truth is the overlay that you just saw, the one that I'm using, is actually kind of brand new. So I'm going to be playing with this as we're on right now. But I'll use the ones that I know I was using before because it's going to be generally in the same place. So my big head usually is 1440 by 1000. That kind of got me close. And then my scale is 140. It got me pretty close actually. So you can see it's a little bit lower than I'd want it. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up and in the center. So I'm going to center it first. The center, all I'm looking for is that kind of imaginary center line right down the middle. I want that to be cutting my face in half. And then as I pull this up, what I'm looking at is I want the bottom of this to be cutting my face in half this way so that my circle, when it's all said and done, is kind of right through here and right down the middle. And this, I think, is looking pretty solid. Now, obviously I wouldn't leave it like this. This looks like crap. So what we have to do is we have to apply a mask. So I'm going to click on the circle because that's what I've chosen. I know a lot of people who use the square, but I'm a big circle person. And when I do this, what the mask is going to do is tell it that I only want it to show the part of the clip that is inside the mask. Now immediately it pulls it out here. That does me no good. So I'm going to pull my mask over and we're going to start to edit it from here. And boom, just like that. Now, what I will do is I will pull this down to usually be just enough inside the frame, but maybe give me a little bit of headspace up top. Pull this to do the same down below, and then I'll pull one side in to tweak it this way, and the other side in to tweak it this way. And what I'm looking for is right around there, that perfect circle shape. This looks a little off right about there. And I like to see this as well, which is this line goes right through my face this way. This line goes right through my face this way. And then I can use these square dots that are on the side to line up with this. So I can already see this is riding a little bit low. Oh, let's go ahead and pull it up. And boom, we're right there. Now, You might like this look right here where it's got the blurred edges. And actually, if you go back to my original videos that I did like at the beginning of my TikTok journey, you'll notice I had a ton of these. I personally came to the conclusion I did not like it. So in order to eliminate that, all you have to do is click on your mask. There's a thing called a mask feather. That's basically the blurring. I pull mine down to 0. And now I have that really good clean line surrounding me. And just like that, that's my TikTok video. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So you might be thinking to yourself, Curtis, that just took you a really long time to walk through. Here's what I want you to know. It took me a long time to show you because I'm trying to explain every little step. Let me do this instead. I'm going to delete this right now. And I'm not going to talk through it, but I will show you right now how much time in real time this would actually take me to do. So normally I would always have this already ready to go with this. I'm going to physically make this so that it's different. Let's say my clip I just did before this was super long. This is literally how long this would take me. Done. So I don't know how long it was. I wasn't really timing it, but you can see that once you have those steps down, once you know those numbers, you're easy to put these together in a very quick fashion. And that literally is exactly how I edit my TikToks. That's exactly how I do it. And from here, all I would do is I would click File, I would click Export, I would click Media, just like I did before. Keep these same settings as we did before, and then all I would do is the output name. I keep my two things separate. So I have my 1080 file, and then I have my TikTok ready clips, and I would label it the same way. It's already there because actually I've already uploaded my test dummy, but 5.8, HQ Defend, click Save, click Export, and it will export it, and you're good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how I edit it. If you're curious, how do I get them from my computer then to my phone? This is a super simple step. Because I'm on a Mac and I have an iPhone, all I have to do is go to my video, right click, click share, and I can airdrop it. Airdropping is God's gift to technology when it comes to Macs. Literally, it's right there. I click on it and it would send it over, no problem. The beautiful part about airdropping as well is if I have multiple clips, like let's say I was trying to send all of these, I can easily do that through airdrop and it will send it in the moment of, or in the matter of a second, over to my phone. So I might pull 4, 5, 6, 7 clips off of one single stream. I can edit them all, have them all saved, throw them over, and now I have them in my phone, just in my photos, that I can either start to edit right away and save as drafts, or just have on deck ready to go where, hey, I know when I want to upload a video, I just go into my photos and start uploading it from there. So it literally is that simple. If you don't have an iPhone or if you're using Windows products, you can either plug your phone in, I'm sure that's an easy way to do it, or use a cloud-based system like Dropbox or Google Drive. I'm sure it all works. That part I'm confident you can figure out. It's easy enough. But ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I told you I would share with you. That is my process from A to Z, exactly how I edit my videos from Twitch over to TikTok. I hope you guys have gotten something out of this. If you appreciated this, again, subscribe to this YouTube channel. It helps us a ton. Comment, let me know that this helped you. If you have any questions, drop that down there as well. I'd love to read through those and give any feedback. And then also let me know if there's any other parts of my content creation that you'd be interested in seeing a tutorial of. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible about what I can do to help and things that I'm being successful with. So if there's something specific you got questions on, just let me know. know, and I'm sure I can easily make a video. Other than that, I do stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 8:30 Central Standard Time, so feel free to pop by, say hi. The Bear Gang would love to say hello to you. But yeah, hopefully you got a lot out of this video, and as always, happy gaming.